Whoa. Shabbat shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, man. Apologies for the late get on, man. I was building with the brothers earlier. Just catching up. But nonetheless, man, Shabbat shalom to the family, man. Who's in the house? Who's in the house? There's the wish. Shalom, my sister. Shabbat shalom. The water for keeping them feet clean. You step up in here, man. Y'all know what time it is. Wipe your feet. Show some respect. You know what I mean? Acknowledge that you was raised right, man. We was all raised through the word of the Lord, you know? So let's act like we got some sense up in here, man. Wipe your feet, man. Help support the channel by showing your appreciation by doing this right here. They ain't gonna charge you. They're not gonna track you down, you know. They're not gonna ban your channel. They're not gonna kick you off the platform by saying, hey, brother, appreciate you. All we need is that algorithm, man, to get rocking. That's all, man. Notifying others who may not be getting notified. We need to make sure that they on point. Shalom to Namawa and the family. Shaq and the rest. Shalom to y'all. Bayan Shakal, shalom, shalom. Egypt to Israel, Shabbat, shalom. In the house, my good brother Karatazan in the house of Elkanah in the house. The family's in here, man. We raiding up in here, man. I can't even hold the door open fast enough, man. Y'all coming in crazy, yo. All praises, man. All praises, man. Yeah, big day today, man. Big day today, y'all. You see it, breaking news, man. A lot going on. You know, every time I say that, it be seeming like I'm putting extras on it, but you know I'm not. You know I'm not. A lot happening in the world, man. It's moving at breakneck speed. Um, I don't have a lot of time today, but I got enough that I'm gonna share my plate with y'all, man. Pull up to the table. You got your fork and knife, your spoon out. Come on. You need something in your cup? You need something? Hold on. Let me pour a little water for you. There you go. You need some of it here. You guys here. You got some too. Come on, let's eat. Y'all ready? All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why you have a shot, man? Here we are. DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. This is episode 182, man. 182, man. Appreciate everybody that's been supporting me and the messengers of the covenant throughout our journeys, man. Trying to get this word out to our people. Being a beacon of light in the times of darkness, man. It ain't easy, man. It ain't easy, man. But with the support, the family that's in the house, man, we're gonna keep striving and pushing towards the end, man. Right? Um, let's open up, man. I wanna touch on a couple scriptures to begin our journey. Begin our journey, man. Hopefully everybody's well, man. Having a blessed Sabbath. Come on in, man. Don't be afraid to wipe your feet. You ain't even gotta knock on the door. I left the door open. All you gotta do is wipe your feet, man. Open up the door. Come on in. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. Just wipe your feet, though. Wipe your feet. Don't come in here, man, being disrespectful. Just wipe your feet. That's all we need. That's all we need, man. Right? All right. We're in the house. Bayan, shalom, shalom, shalom. There we go. Um, let's open up in I think I might go to second Ezra 14. Let's go there. You know, as we keep unfolding more and more in the times that we living in, you know, it's essential that you know, we start making proper preparations, man. Number one, with the Most High and getting ourselves in order with the Lord. You know, moving in the spirit of repentance, acknowledgement of iniquities, learning to teach our brothers and sisters to do better according to the laws of the Most High, man. Leaving off from uh, leaving off from the unrighteous ways that our enemies have set before us. Right. Let's start off with second Ezra 14. What's up with this? Huh. Interesting. Some new little setup. Some looking a little different, but it's okay. All right, here we go. So, scriptures is letting us know. Second Ezra 14:14 says, "Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off the weak." Oh, you know what? Let me rise up a little bit. I'm not even gonna get into the 12 parts. That's a whole nother breakdown. which maybe, in the near future, I'll cover that, which is, talking about these particular parts of the world losing its youth, times beginning to wax old. I mean, you can see what's going on in the earth. The earth is waxing older and older, man, getting more decrepit. The so-called white man is calling that global warming. No, it's because of the abuses that the so-called white man has done to the earth, let alone just the judgment that the Most High has placed upon the earth, man. The final day prophecies, man, and what the world can expect is ultimate destruction. Not the complete destruction. America will be, but the earth will be left intact for rebuilding. However, it is losing its youth, man. The vibrancy of the earth yielding minerals is losing itself, as we're seeing the earthquakes, the volcanoes, everything that's been happening throughout the earth, man. The earth is getting old, and it's not really that old. We're talking about 12,000, 13,000 years old, right? But let's read down here. Verse 13. Now, therefore, set thine house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. So this is part of what Ezra was being instructed to do. We're being instructed to do that as well. As men and women of the Most High said, when you see everything crashing around here, man, these walls closing in, and you see all hell breaking loose, the Most High said, well, you first thing you better do is get your house in order. Make sure that you're getting your house in order. Make sure that you're properly preparing yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically to be prepared for everything that's getting ready to come on. Because it's going to be like, and even still, there's only so much that you can do. The scriptures even tell us that the times that we're getting ready to experience is like none other. So how can you really prepare for something you've never experienced? That's why the main preparation is to get right with the Most High. Repentance, living in the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Being disciplined by those principles is the one thing that's going to help us maintain. Now, therefore, said that it says, reprove thy people and comfort such as them that be in trouble. So the Lord said that you got to reprove, meaning correct our people. That's a commandment that the Most High is telling us. You got to go out there, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, show my people their transgressions. Thus saith Isaiah 58 in the first verse. Reproving and correcting our people is part of the solution. The more that we can wake our people up, the more that we can seal the elect, the more that we can actually gather together the lost sheep of the house of Israel, the closer we are to our goal of ultimately getting our kingdom back. It says, comfort such as them to be in trouble. So, the elder brothers that's out there and the experienced brothers, you got to comfort them that be in trouble, man. Providing counseling, trying to make sure that our nation is in properly working order, doing charitable works, those type of things. It said, comfort such as them that be in trouble and renounce corruption. Well, we're notorious for doing that over here at DSTM. That we're notorious for doing that over here at Messengers of the Covenant. We're renouncing corruption. That's one of the things that the Most High told us to do. In Jeremiah 28, it said that the pedigree, I'm paraphrasing, pedigree of a prophet is to prophesy against kingdoms and nations, pestilence. Matter of fact, let's go there real quick. That's part of the pedigree of a prophet. If you're not doing that, then you're not living the word of a prophet. You're not doing the works of a prophet. You're not showing yourself to do the things that a prophet would do. So that's why we got to double back and learn better. To say, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be learning. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be renouncing corruption, reproving and teaching my people. I'm supposed to be prophesying against these nations that are pronouncing evil and corruption upon our people and upon the world. Look at this, Jeremiah 28. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries. Do you hear them prophesying against countries in the churches, in the cathedrals? Are they prophesying against many countries in the mosques? How about the Buddhist temples that these Negroes is out here, worshiping and praising after Buddha right now? What about these Kemetic temples and these shrines? Are they out there prophesying against many countries, man? Are they doing it for the benefit of the people? Trying to resurrect the minds of our people in righteousness and trying to get our people to be awakened to what's going on in the world? No, they're not. They're not. But a true prophet is going to prophesy against many countries and against great kingdoms. It said even the biggest and the baddest and the greatest of them. The small little voices crying out in the wilderness, man, like myself and other brothers, are standing up against these great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. All of those things have to be in the mouths of the prophets. These things have to be a constant in order to understand the preparation of what the Lord has in store for his people. Jumping back over to 2nd Ezra 14, 13 again. Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such as them that be in trouble, and renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, and put off the weak nature. So the Lord is letting it be known. He said, man, the mortal thoughts, man, the carnal thoughts are the things that plague us, the fleshly desires and things that the most I said, man, sooner or later you're gonna have to cast them things and let it go. Let it go. Because some things is not going to even be worthwhile discussing, talking about, or worrying about when all hell is breaking loose. You ain't gonna be worried about your damn car note. You ain't gonna be worried about trying to find a wife, brothers. You ain't gonna be worried about trying to find a husband, sisters. Well, actually, the sisters will be. The scriptures say, man, in that day, a good man is gonna be more precious than the gold of Ophir. There's gonna be a whole lot of scrambling around looking for some umbrella to run under when the rains of hell is raining down on this earth. But the mortal thoughts, man, worrying about a lot of the carnal things, man. The Lord said, man, you cast away your burdens. It's not gonna have you ain't gonna have time to be, in your feelings. You ain't gonna have time to be worried about your depression. You ain't gonna have time for none of that. It's gonna be about what's in front of you right now, surviving and being in the spirit. It said put off the weak nature. Even a sister in Second Maccabees, the 7th chapter, the woman with the 7 sons. It said, man, she had to put off the weak nature and take a manly stomach as she seen her son slaughtered in front of her. As we start seeing all these things going on, man, now ain't the time to be panicking and running around saying, oh, shoot, did you see that? Oh, shoot, I'm scared as hell. What the hell? We ain't seen nothing yet. The weak nature, man, we have to have a whole new mentality. We have to have a whole new frame of focus. And I'm speaking to y'all just as much as I'm speaking to myself. Putting off the weak nature. The Lord said, man, you're going to have to really, really man up to endure to see what the heck is about to happen. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Verse 16, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Can you imagine? It said greater evils that we're going to see. You can forget about all the transformer activity going on in the doctor's offices. You can forget about the lynchings, the hangings, the burnings, the slaughtering of whole towns and countries like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Rosewood, and all these other. The Lord said, man, greater evils is coming after that, man. You can forget about the biological warfare that's been pronounced on us. You can forget about the conquering of the nations and the colonizing of the countries and the islands, destroying whole continents of people. The Lord said, man, that ain't nothing. Something great is even going to happen after that. And we scratch our head and say, dang, how bad is that? How much worse can it get? A lot of our people's like, I want out now. I want out now. I can't wait till y'all. This is already enough, huh? Daniel 12. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. Oh, let's be clear, man, for the heathen that's watching or tuning in or whatever. Listen, IQAhmath, the archangel, Michael, the great prince, stands up for the children of Israel. We're the children of our people. He's our defender, man. He's there for us. All right. That gives us comfort as well. That lets us know that although we hear and read and see everything that's going on earth, we still have defenders. We still have those that's going to look out for us. We still have those that's going to protect us and shield us, so long as we're doing right according to the word of the Most High. He's standing up for the children of our people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. It said, think about Babylon. Nothing compared to what was going on then. The Assyrian captivity, Greco-Roman era, the Greeks, the Maccabees. The Lord said, it never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. It said, add up the times. Check it out: the World War I, World War II, the Civil War, Spanish American War. You can talk about the French American War. I mean, the Lord said that no, 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 no. The Korean War, no, doesn't even matter. The Zulus fighting against the British, no, no, not even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that should be found written in the book. That's what we're pounding the pavement for. That's what we're spiritually trying to, strive for, is to make sure that our names is written in that book of life, man, so that we can be delivered. As my brother Aladad always says, man, we just putting uh, works on our books in order to be delivered, man. That's the goal. Matthew 24. Let's read 21. Yahweh Shai even said it. He said, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So you want to include the flood in that? Good Lord. I mean, how bad we talking about, man? When we start seeing all the things that's transpiring, all the things that we're leading up to, this is where we're headed to, man. Let's go to Isaiah 26. Oops. Isaiah 26. What scripture do I want? The 20. 20. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. So this one, the Most High saying, sometimes we're gonna have to hunker down, get into our closets, move into our spiritual mind frames of being in our Goshen, or avarice, whichever one you prefer, during our time of our exodus of old. The Lord said, man, we got to hide ourselves, shut the doors about us. That's why even the Most High said that there's going to be a famine in the land, not of bread and water, but of hearing the word of the Most High, man. There's going to be a complete shutdown, man. And it said, and wait till the indignation be past, man. Wait until all of the anger of the Lord, man, the judgment and everything else goes down so that we can be delivered. Verse 21, for behold, the Most High cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. So there's going to be massive death that happens. There's going to be massive judgments by the Most High, but it's all for us to be delivered. I mean, they always say there's no peace without war, right? So we have to go through these particular things, these particular judgments, in order for the Most High to bring forth righteousness back on the earth, man. Psalms 9, let's read 16. It says, the Most High is known by the judgment which he executeth. So this is how we know that everything we're witnessing and we're seeing is of the Most High. Whether it's from the health, the health thing that just happened the last couple of the years, the wars that we're experiencing, the 20 plus thousand dead over there in Turkey from the earthquake. You dig what I'm saying? The hundreds that died over there in Indonesia, that they got hit with the earthquake maybe about a month before that. The Lord said, you're going to know it's the Most High when he executes these judgments. You ain't going to be attributing it to nothing else. See, the works of the so-called white man, they do this. Wisdom of Solomon 13. This is how they do it. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of the Most High, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is. So everything that we see of the Most High, man, you go outside and you say, man, it's a nice day today. The ignorant, vain man by nature doesn't even attribute that to the Most High. They don't come out and say, man, all praise to the Most High, man, it's a beautiful day today. They go out there and say, man, wow, it's a nice day today, man. The wind's blowing. You're out there observing your garden. If you got a garden and you seeing your crops and your fruits and your vegetables and your herbs is growing, they don't attribute that to the Most High, providing enough for the sunlight, providing enough rains. They don't do that. You say, oh man, it's a nice day. We're gonna go to the beach. You don't attribute the nice beach water, the waves, and everything else. You save up all your money. You're charging up your credit cards to go vacation over in the Cayman Islands, and you want to go to Jamaica. You want to go over there to the Virgin Islands. You want to go to Trinidad and Tobago. You want to go down there to Cancun to experience the nice weather and the nice beaches, and you want to go out there and see the nature. The vain man, the atheist, the one who's ignorant of the Most High, will not give the Most High no credit, and you can see all of the beauty and the glory of the Most High, man. And you sit back and you look back and you say, come on. The intelligence that created everything that we, how does the Most High created the whole earth, man, that is sustainable for the lives that he created? You think that's a Big Bang did that? You know, we accidentally, all of a sudden, man, the vegetation is here on the earth that's going to help sustain man and life, even heal him. If we're just some random creations, man, that transform from salamanders into apes and everything else, but everything else is already here for us to be sustained in life, are you crazy? They don't even consider it, man. It says, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster, but deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the earth. Which govern the world. You know, the so-called white man, he wants to accredit Prometheus with creating fire. Oh, no, not the Most High. Yahweh. No. You know, the wind blow. Oh, it's Mother Nature. Oh, it's Hurricane Andrew. Oh, these are just cyclical fires that happen every year over here in California, man. Oh, there's no judgment. When the Most High is tearing down all of these damn rich white folks, man, living in the hills, the Most High is gonna flush them out. Them that dwell in the clefts of the rocks. The Most High said all of that, man. What the hell are they talking about? They don't acknowledge it. But see, we know. Back to Psalms. It says, the Most High Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executed. So everything that we see, we have to attribute it to the Most High, and he's going to be known because there's going to be some things that go on in this earth, man. You have no other choice but to attribute it to something higher than what man has been able to calculate in his brain, or to lie about, or to share disinformation about. You're gonna have to attribute it to say, man, this is otherworldly, man. This is some other intelligence did this. And white men already created the damn backdrop for that. Oh yeah, it was aliens, man. The Anunnaki. They did it. No, Yahweh did it. And you're gonna know. It says the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. So the works of the wicked man, this is why you see Esau fighting against Esau, man. He's fumbling and stumbling over himself and how he handled this whole little health crisis, man. All the proof of the facts is coming out. He's getting snared in the work of his own hands. Oh, all of a sudden, all these confidential documents is being found in the house of the Bidens and found in the house of Mike Pence. And, you know, he's getting snared and caught in his own damn traps. Verse 17, the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. The Most High is going to turn this place upside down. They're going to get turned into hell, meaning death, judgment, pain, the grave, destruction. It said all the wicked is going to get turned into that, man. It said, and the nations that forget the Most High. This is why we're seeing all of these nations now going to war, resorting to their own understandings and ideologies and how to handle world conflict. Oh, well, we're going to have to go to war with each other. So North Korea is saying, get ready. China saying, get ready. Taiwan's getting ready. America now, you see them shooting down objects in the air now, scrambling jets around. Russia's creeping closer over here with a nuclear capable sub. Sub. Iran's creeping on over here, man. We already know what's happening over there in between Russia and Ukraine. So they're getting ready to turn this place into hell. It says, for the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Well, we're the needy. We're the poor. The Most High said the needy shall not always be forgotten. You know, that's why our people, man, we run around here. We praying to the Lord. You stop praying to the Most High. You say, man, the Most High don't hear us. There's no God. I've been forgotten. You know, that's the legacy of Israel, man. The lost, trodden, downtrodden, and forgotten, man, is our people. Because of the curses that fell upon us, we feel as though the Most High forgot about us. Well, he did in a sense, but he never forgot about us to the fact that uh he would do away with us. Jeremiah 31 tells us that. What's it, Deuteronomy 30? No, it's not 30. I'm on Deuteronomy 30. Let me bring out my trusty sword, man, before I forget. Uh, 32. That's the one. Yeah. See, verse Deuteronomy 32:21 says, "They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy which to those." No, Shalaki, I want 20. Yeah, this the one. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith. This is a judgment that the Most High placed upon Israel. He said he's going to hide his face. So in a sense, he never forgot about us, but he turned his back on us and he said, listen, you want to know what it's like to be without me? You want to see what it's like to not be able to call upon me for your help and for your comfort, for your protection, for your food, clothing, and shelter? Okay, see what it's like. You're going to get whipped, chained, burned, dog sicked on you, castrated, beheaded, quartered. You're going to get all of it. You're going to get raped. You're going into bondage. You're going to serve your enemies and want all things. How's that sound? And now our people are sitting back scratching their heads saying, nah, we don't like that. Well, guess what? We got to turn our faces back to the Most High and acknowledge our iniquities. You know, if you got to go to the store, man, you buying raid and mouse traps and all, that's the Most High that hid his face from him. That's when the Most High said, my people have been destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because I was rejecting knowledge, I'll reject thee. That's being rejected of the Lord. We wasn't meant to live like that, man. The Most High even said, even having mold in your house is unclean and a curse. Many of our people are struggling with all of these particular type of things. But this is how the Most High tells us we got to get it right. Let's go back to Psalms 19, then we'll get to these current events, man. Verse 18, it says, for the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. So we're the poor, we're the forgotten. The Lord said it's not going to be forever, man. The Lord is going to deliver us. He's going to bring us our enemies heads on a platter. And the rest is going to serve bondage because of the faithful endurance that we ride on and the preparations that we took to endure. Verse 19, arise, O Yahweh, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. So when we see everything that's going to be happening in this earth, man, from the wars, for them eating each other alive, you see them at the if anybody watched it, I watched some of it, that State of the Union address with Slow Biden, him and the damn the Republicans was like going at it. They was in there booing him, calling him a liar. There was all kind of turmoil going on in there. So it shows you, man, a nation divided against itself can't stand. Let them go ahead on and eat each other alive, man. Let them go ahead and be parasitic with each other and destroy each other, man, while we sit back. Like the Most High said, hide thyself. We just got to read in Isaiah. Yeah, sit back and hide and watch. They done it to us for years. Now it's our turn. Put them in fear, O Yahweh, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Yeah, the vain men that don't believe in the judgment of the Most High, that come up with all different kind of religious doctrines and all kind of foolishness to try to show that they are God. No, they're going to be proven to be just men, and they're going to be judged as such, and they're going to be destroyed by Hashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, man. Hopefully everybody's doing Good, good. All right. Sharon is right. Sharon is right. Okay. All praises. Here we go. Let me share. Let's start here. And let me blow this up. Why is this not showing? All right. So uh this is why we're seeing here a massing of troops. This is the second phase of the war that Putin was describing. This is where he said he was going headed to. This is what the Ukrainians. This is why Zelensky is running around here panhandling to all the nations, wanting more weapons, wanting more help, more money, more food, more everything. Because now Putin is getting ready to lay the smackdown on them. Done playing games, and this is what's going to provoke NATO to join in. We already seen we're in World War III. It's already going down, man. The escalations is just going to get bigger and bigger. Other nations are going to have to join in, and it's going to be clearly apparent that we're there. Right now, we're talking proxy. Right now, we're just talking about the nation just funding this war and sending them weapons and doing little covert operations and all of that. Now we're seeing so-called spy balloons coming over here from China. They're getting shot down, invading airspaces. Certain laws are being kind of violated. They're just tinkering a little bit, showing where everything is going. Things ain't reverting back to normal. I know we all see that. They ain't no going backwards. No, everything is going forward according to the plan of the Lord. Countdown to Z-Day. Russia is amassing 18,000 tanks, 700 aircraft, and 500,000 men for the new Ukraine assault in 10 days after Zelensky begs the UK for jets. That's one of the things too that Putin said was uh, was how he was going to escalate the war too. He said, "Look, if any of you nations give them jets, I'm taking it personal, and I'm taking it that all of y'all are trying to, get Russia bombed. Whoever's giving the bomb, I mean the fighter jets to them, they're committing." Sluggy, 1 second. All right. They're committing acts of war by giving them heavy artillery. Remember that little video I did when Slow Biden was talking about, folks, when we're saying planes, trains, and what do you say, tanks and all of that, that's called World War III. Make no mistake about it. Well, what the hell is he doing right now? Just exactly that. Ukraine's been monitoring the military buildup as they continue to plead for Western support, including during Volodymyr Zelensky's visit yesterday to London. Zelensky hailed the UK for its support, but warned it might not be enough. I mean, this dude he tells everybody that's not enough. I want some more. I want it now. I want this. I mean, nobody heard of this dude 2 years ago. Who knew who Zelensky was? Now all of a sudden he can run around here and tell all these nations what he wants and what's not enough and bring it now and give me more money and more of this, more of that. A clear puppet who's been given the authority to run around to the nations with the backing of the great whore, America, telling them, give me more. Everything that he wants is in violation of this war agreement. And Russia's saying, first of all, if y'all give him this, that's too much. If you do that, it's too, first is, you're giving them more ammunition, you're giving them the javelin missiles and everything else. You're helping them with their radar detection system. You're shooting down the drones. You're doing it. Putin's like, okay, y'all helping them out. You giving them a lot. Now, don't give them tanks. Oh, guess what? Zelensky running around, give me tanks. Germany says, give them tanks. America says, give them tanks. Putin says, man, if you give them planes, I'm violating everybody now. I hope now the UK says, oh, well, so let's give them planes now. It's only escalating to where it's got to go down on a global scale of war now. The new assault is feared to be much bigger than the first wave, which stormed across the country towards Kiev almost exactly 1 year ago. Russia's believed to be amassing 18,000 tanks, 3,950 armored vehicles, 400 fighter jets, 300 helicopters for the attack. He's been holding out. All of this stuff he ain't even really been using. like heavily. Now he's up in the ante. Putin They added Putin is also gathering 2,700 artillery guns, 810 rocket launchers for a new wave of attacks. Reports foreign policy. It's much bigger than what took place in the first wave. The official said they are not paying attention to any casualties or losses. In the next 10 days, we expect a new huge invasion. Ukrainian intelligence has put the figure for the spring offensive at between 300,000 and 500,000 soldiers. So that thing is going to continue escalating. Let's continue. And this is it. This is just yesterday. They said in 10 days. Putin said, I ain't waiting 10 days. 24 hours. Massive attack pummels Ukraine one day after Zelensky's European tour. You see, he's on tour while his troops is getting slaughtered. Where's all the headlines that the Ukrainians is out here killing all the generals and where's all of the hundreds of thousands of Russians that's being where'd those go? All of a sudden those don't exist no more, huh? There's been a change of the tide. Oh, okay. Let's see. World War III is the only way to stop Putin, with NATO countries having to quote fight for real. Fight for real. See, no more funding, no more sending weapons over here, no more training on the sidelines. This is a warning from Russia's former richest man, now exiled in Britain. So this isn't coming directly from Russia, but this is coming from an insider who knows Putin, one of the oligarchs that says, hey, I know the dude, and I see where this is going geopolitically, man. He ain't stopping. The only way you're going to stop him is World War III has to get inactive. And all the NATO countries are going to have to fight for real. So this is what we're waiting on. This is what we are monitoring. Is when all the nations going to say, you know what? We got to jump in. When you start hearing, oh, Poland launched a bomb over here. Oh, Lithuania did this. Germany did that to Russia. Or Russia done bombed France. Then that's when everybody's going to wake up and gonna say, oh, it's really going down now. Oh, by then it's too late. Especially if you're living in Europe or wherever. And God knows America's doomed to get hit. This is why we looking early and seeing, oh, okay, this is where this is going. I see. This is the type of conversation that's being had. Oh, yeah, we're close. Let's continue. North Korea shows off its largest ever number of nuclear missiles at a nighttime parade. Now North Korea is out flexing their muscle. They showing the most nukes ever publicly. And we're going to read the article next. Kim Jong-un was in hiding for like 30-something days. He just popped out and said, get ready for war. We're going to read it in a second. So, nuclear-armed North Korea showcases missile production muscle during a nighttime parade. State media reported on Thursday, displaying more intercontinental ballistic missiles than ever before and hinting at a new solid-fuel weapon. The country is forged ahead with its ballistic missile program, test launching dozens of advanced missiles last year, despite United Nations Security Council resolutions and sanctions. For the naysayers who say, oh man, that happens all the time. Well, when have we seen it at this particular type of escalation during wartime that all these nations are running around positioning themselves strategically throughout the earth, preparing for war? When does it ever happen? It ain't like it's peacetime and ain't nothing going on, and North Korea just decided to say, you know what? Oh, we're just going to show off our nukes just to flex our muscle. No, it's during a time when actually war is going on and World War III is being talked about, and all the nations are arming themselves up with nuclear capabilities and setting up their drones and moving strategically throughout the earth, choosing sides, making their allegiances. When does it happen at this rate? I'll wait. It hasn't. All the nations are scrambling around right now, trying to figure out what to do. What side are they going to stand on? This time, Kim Jong-un let North Korea's expanding tactical and long-range missile forces speak for themselves. And we've seen over the last couple months, they've been out launching all kind of tests, shooting missiles past South Korea, shooting them into Japan. They was doing them like damn near every week. running all kind of missile tests, and now they come out and say we're ready when they showcase their nuclear armed ICBMs. Let's continue on. It says the message Pyongyang wants to send internationally, demonstrating its capabilities to deter and coerce, will likely come in the form of solid fuel missile tests and detonation of miniaturized nuclear device. The Kremlin says those behind the Nord Stream blast must be punished. Well, we know what happened with the Nord Stream pipeline. Y'all remember that? Whatever it was, 8 months ago, 6 months ago, when that pipeline blew up underwater. Y'all remember that? I talked about it. Played the video, whatever. It's 8 months ago when Slow Biden said, if Putin invades Russia, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline will be. Oh, you know what? Let me quote the old fart. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll pull him up. Uh-oh. You hear the report? She's stunned that he even said a comment like that. He said, mind you, this was before the invasion, which was on February of 2020, what, 2? That he invaded? So this is prior to February. This is early February. I think they invaded February 26th. This is before that. He said that if Putin invades, because that Nord Stream pipeline provided all the gas and power to Europe and Germany, he said that, and that was one of the main sources of income for the Russians at the time. He said, if they do that, we're going to cut that off. The reporters are, how are you going to do that? I promise you we'll be able to do it. Well, Slow Biden is a man of his word. Slow Biden is a man of his word. We seen what happened. The only people that was threatening to shut down this particular pipeline was America, with Victoria Nuland, the same woman that was talking about doing a regime change in Ukraine and said F the EU. I played that I played that recording a while back. Same one that said that and Ted Cruz was grilling her in a one of those one of those government dang, I can't think of the word. One of them little government sit downs where they be questioning people. And Ted Cruz asked her, was the chemical weapons in Ukraine? And she said, well, they have laboratories over there, and there's some, but they're not being made. We got to make sure the Russians don't get a hold. Like, she said some foolishness. Acknowledged that chemical warfare and labs are there in Ukraine, and Americans are over there. That's on video. She said Nord Stream 2 is going to get shut down, and Slow Biden done said it. Now all of a sudden the thing gets blew up. First thing they do, they say, oh, the Russians did it. Now you got investigative journalists. Down here, you see here, Pulitzer Prize winning. This is a highly decorated journalist, Seymour Hersh. He comes out with a whole investigative journalist piece, tens of pages, proving that Babylon has something to do with it. Actually, are the ones that did it. They set up remote controlled devices down there in cahoots with, I believe believe he said it was the Norway. Bottom line, he says, man, hey, America's at fault. This is Seymour Hersh, YouTube, not me. I'm reading. Don't shoot the messenger. The Kremlin said on Thursday the world should know the truth about who sabotaged the Nord Stream gas pipelines, and that those responsible should be punished after an investigative journalist said U.S. divers blew them up at the behest of the White House. Anybody else on record that said that they were going to do this, they were going to shut down this pipeline? Any other nations besides America? No. So the first fingers that should be pointed should be looking at the White House. But they already had the fact checkers and the scramblers running around there that already dispelled it and say, no, it was the Russians. They sabotaged their own pipeline as a false flag. Yeah. Let's run with that one. The nations who sucking on the tit of the gray horse, they're not going to question. They're too busy getting full off to the wine and the wrath of the fornication. They're not going to question. The dumbed down sheeple here in America, they're not going to question. They're going to listen to whatever we tell them. And they ran with it. But you got those who's out there saying, wait a minute, I got questions. Hold on. If that's the case, well, why'd you say this? Well, you said that, now this happens? I mean, hold on, that doesn't make sense. Let me back it up with some investigative research. Well, this is what the Edomite did. Pulitzer Prize winner. I mean, the highest forms of journalistic integrity and award-winning journalism. This ain't no, some vlogger sitting in the damn basement eating a Hot Pocket, typing on the damn computer, trying to go viral. This is a guy who's a decorated journalist, man, a respected journalist. He came out and said, man, I got all the facts and all the proof. If you got any integrity in any of my previous writings and anything else in my award winning, then you know that I ain't BSing. And he dropped the bomb on them. A sharp drop in pressure on both pipelines registered on September 26. Seismologists detected explosions, triggering a wave of speculation about sabotage of one of Russia's most important energy corridors. So if he is saying this, and he says it was U.S. Navy divers had destroyed the pipelines with explosives on the orders of President Slow Biden. And now Russia says whoever did it needs to be punished. So if all roads lead back to the White House, Russia has every right to say that America committed an act of terrorism. And if the world doesn't judge America for it, and the world courts don't judge America for it, then I have to take that as an international threat of terrorism, and I need to defend myself, and I have to retaliate. Isn't that what America did with 9/11? Or when the planes hit? I mean, we know, and everybody can have their own understanding about 9/11. I have mine. And if you got questions about what happened and who was involved and all of that, then we're probably on the same page. But I ain't gonna talk too much about that because you know how the people be on YouTube and saying, "Oh, you said something. Oh, shut it down." So you know where I'm coming from. If the narrative is speculatory around 9/11, then you already know. But what ended up happening? The planes hit. Baby Bush jumped out the window and immediately said, "If you're not with us, you're with the terrorists. There's weapons of mass destruction over there. Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden's responsible, and we're gonna go bomb the hell out of them. Everybody that's with us say aye." Everybody said aye, and boom, it went down. 20 plus years later, no weapons of mass destruction found. Saddam Hussein gone. Bin Laden gone. They took over Afghanistan. Got to selling heroin, protecting the poppy field. I mean, come on. Got the oil. We know what happened. But the fact remains is that when there's a terrorist attack that happens on U.S. soil or the property of another nation, you have every right to defend yourself. So what is Russia going to do about it? Well, now that the investigation is underway, you know they're not going to lead to a conclusion and say slow Biden signed off on it. You know they're not going to admit to it. So Russia's either going to say, "Man, hey, the facts remain that this is what happens, man, and I'm sick of this. You bombed our property. You're supplying weapons and money to uh, Ukraine. Ukrainians leadership is quitting because of corruption, which means what? You're funding corruption. I'm sick of you, and we're gonna step this thing up, and I'm about to bomb you. It can go down like that. It can go down like that. Let's continue. Pentagon testing mass surveillance balloons across the U.S. So this is look at it. Article's 3 years old. This is why the hoopla that people are and the hypocrisy of America dealing with these balloons and all that. They've been doing that. And slow Biden come out. Hold on. This is his response to the balloon that everybody was tripping off of a week ago. Yeah, it's a violation of international law. China's over here spying. But what's America gonna do about it? Are they ready to go to war? No. Slow Biden is a punk. So what do he say? Anyway, it's not a major breach. So Slow Biden said, "Oh, no big deal." Yeah, they was over here with satellite. They had the balloon over here. Yeah, they had antennas on there. They could have been collecting sensitive data. Hey, but who cares? Because TikTok is downloaded on everybody's phones, and it's a Chinese app. So the Chinese don't give a damn. They got everybody TikTok. You can't buy a new phone that doesn't already have the damn thing downloaded on your phone. Only thing you can do is uninstall it. So they don't give a damn about a spy balloon and Chinese. Chinese getting the information however they want. So slow Biden says, anyway, it's not a major breach. Biden brushes off Chinese spy balloon invading U.S. airspace and monitoring U.S. comms because all countries gather intelligence. So slow Biden comes out and blows the lid off of it. He said, man, everybody's doing it. We're all spying on each other. So if that's the case, that's why there was no immediate action being taken. And then they said, well, wait till it gets over the Atlantic and then we'll shoot it down. They shoot it down and the Chinese get upset. Hey, we all play by the same rules. That's what Moab is saying. Hold on, Biden. We all doing the same thing. We ain't never shot none of your damn balloons down. What's up with you? But because he had that State of the Union address coming up, he had to go out there and say, see, look, I took action. I shot down the little good balloons. No. Look at Biden did not admit that China sending the balloon was a violation of international law in an interview with Telemundo and is now said to be considering a response. So he shot it down, right? But they asked him, he said, well, are you concerned about the spine and all? He was like, no, we talked with the Chinese, it's all good. And it was like, oh, you talked to him since you seen the balloon? He was like, well, not since then, but we're all good. We're all good. We talk, we don't have no problems with them. Why can he say that? Because of this. Pentagon tested mass surveillance balloons across the US. This was 3 years ago. 2020, I think 2019, 2020 is when this article was published. They already been doing that. They all spying on us. This is the vanity of the white man and why he does what he does. He got the God complex. He wants to be like the Most High. He wants to see and observe uh what goes on. Look at this. Sirach 23:19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. The so-called white man knows that the Most High is the only one who sees and observes and beholds all the ways of men. The Most High knows when you're going out, when you're coming in, so forth and so on. This is why he flips that and says this is Santa Claus. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. What? This is the vanity of the white man. This is why we say he's the damn devil. He's got a God complex. So what does he do with his technology? He wants to have his eyes 10 times brighter than the sun. He wants to behold the ways of men in the considering the most secret parts, putting spyware on people's devices. He wants to sit back and observe and watch you through your cameras and turn on your microphones on your phone. He wants to sit back and install everybody, and it's got good uses. Don't get me wrong. If you got it, cool. All praise it, and it's helped you. Cool. You got the ring, but they talk about the rings can be hacked in and tampered with. The rings on everybody's phone, Alexa in your house, Siri telling you the wrong way when you ask her which way is left. On your GPS, he monitoring every damn thing. Satellites in the air. Now what are they doing? They talking about balloons. So it's not. It's that they've been testing mass surveillance with balloons, cameras everywhere. If y'all ain't watched it, I mentioned the movie Snowden with Edward Snowden. He blew the lid off and became a whistleblower talking about all the illegal spying that the NSA and the government have been doing on all Americans. So spying, covert, espionage, all that, this is all part of um their governmental regime. That's why the Chinese was tripping like, hey, you know what we do? When you shot this down, what's wrong with you? And Slow Biden admitted, he said, man, all nations spy on each other. We're all in each other's business. So what he did, and now you just seeing they just shot down another quote unquote unidentified object the size of a car off the coast of Alaska. So now we're seeing a whole lot of shooting, American plane fighter just shooting down objects in the sky. About a month ago, they were running drills um, in Texas, Oklahoma. There was a couple of other spots, man, that people were saying they were witnessing fighter jets flying through the sky close enough to where you can hear and feel the rattle from the sonic boom from the engines. When does that ever go down? And that's only because what? They were running these drills. And then all of a sudden after this, oh, the balloons popping up, oh, the fighter jets are scrambling out, shooting them down on 2 different occasions. And a month earlier they was out running drills. Something's going on. What? I can't explain it. But we know Esau is up to something, man. Traveling in the stratosphere at altitudes up to 65,000 feet, the balloons are intended to, quote, provide a persistent surveillance system to locate and deter narcotic trafficking, and homeland security threats. Oh, isn't that nice? They're looking out for us. When they're the ones selling the damn drugs. Oh my goodness. So there you go. So the balloons, man, Slow Biden says everybody's doing it. The violation was him shooting it down. America's been utilizing spy balloons. How do we know that it wasn't one of their own? And it's a false flag to go back and blame the Chinese. Who knows? Who knows? Here's another one. This is the one we just talking about. Arctic Ocean recovery begins for a cylindrical high altitude unidentified object with no observable surveillance equipment. No observable surveillance equipment shot down over Alaska by a Sidewinder missile. Pentagon admits it doesn't know who the mystery object the size of a car belongs to. So this just goes to show you the paranoia that America is under right now. This is how high level it is as far as war is concerned. They ain't taking no chances. They don't know what's going on, who's got what. But in the minute, F-22s is scrambling, shooting down anything that's flying over the air of America. One of these things is going to trigger some war. Because if we see America then committed terrorism, allegedly, with the Nord Stream pipeline that Russia could respond on, China supposedly violated international air with this spy balloon, America could retaliate aggressively outside of just shooting it down and then saying, no, we're all good. Now you got another object over here in Alaska. So you got 2 different violations. America could react if they wanted to. No, but we're gonna they holding back. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's continue. UN chief fears world headed for a wider war over Ukraine and Russia. So again, we're hearing even from more people from the UN and the EU and NATO all talking about World War III is here. All is the war is about to expand. The world's about to expand. So, UN chief fears the world is headed for a wider war over the Ukraine and Russia conflict. Let's continue on. Russia warns of consequences for the entire world if the UK sends jets to Ukraine. Well, didn't we just get to seeing it? Zelensky was over there begging for uh, fighter jets. The next day, Russia bombs the hell out of them. So is that going to prompt the UK to say, "Oh, send them the jets right away"? Zelensky was right. They need this. Well, you send them over there. Russia's now saying, "Okay, well, the world is going to pay if that's how it's going down. Then World War III is going to be enacted now by even more physical force." That's what he's saying. Given his update, he said, given the UK government clearly said it's exploring, quote, the possibility of sending fighter aircraft to Ukraine, namely its Typhoon jets, upon a visit by Ukraine's Zelensky to London, Russia has responded fiercely. Prime Minister Sunak earlier explained the first step is being able to provide advanced aircrafts is to have soldiers or aviators that are capable of using them. That is a process that takes some time. We've started that process today. Sunak said at a news conference with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky after announcing Britain would train Ukrainian pilots. So that pretty much means that they're committed to sending them jets. They just got to train them up on how to fly them. Nothing is off the table, and our leadership on this issue is something that we all collectively should be very proud of. Very proud of. Well, pride go before destruction. We know that, right? Russia embassy to the UK quickly warned of, quote, military and political consequences for the European continent and the entire world. So Russia's saying, hey, send them jets over there, train them Ukrainians up and fighting them jets, man. The world's going to pay. The world is going to pay. So let's see. Fuming Putin sends chilling threat to the West as more NATO allies to send tanks to the Ukraine. He said those who involve Germany in a new war with Russia and even more irresponsibly declare it as an accomplished fact. Those who expect to win over Russia on the battlefield probably do not understand that the modern war with Russia will be completely different for them. So he's saying, I'm taking a civil approach in dealing with the Ukrainians, with the bombs and the tanks and this, that, and the third. And they said, now anybody else get involved, it's going to be different for you. Germany, UK, France, America, any of the NATO allies. He said, I'm going to take a different approach with y'all, which means what? Nuclear. He's not going to nuke Ukraine. That's too damn close to Russia. Why would he do that? He said, then I can handle Ukraine with just regular planes, tanks, missiles, surface and land air missiles, so forth and so on. He said, that's easy. However, any of these other nations get involved, I'm going to handle y'all differently. The Russian president claimed to have many friends in Europe and North America willing to help his cause against Western powers helping Ukraine. So now he's even threatening that he's got sleeper cells in America and Europe, waiting for their activation, waiting for the word to say, okay, hack this, blow up that. You dig what I'm saying? That's what he's insinuating, that he has, quote, many friends in Europe and North America willing to help his cause. So let's see where that goes. Are these veiled threats, or is there validity behind them? Time will tell. We'll see. Top Putin ally says he will not hide intention to invade Poland anymore. So that was the next threat, is that if Russia invades or has any input on destruction of Poland, that means that a NATO allied country has been attacked and now NATO has to get involved. So now you got one of Putin's top allies says that his ultimate goal after Ukraine is to invade Poland. Once that's done, hey, it's on. Ramzan Kadyrov, a key ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, has begun rattling off threats about attacking Poland after Ukraine. Kadyrov, the head of Chechnya, suggested Monday that Russia should denazify and demilitarize Poland next. What if, after the successful completion of the NMD, Russia begins to denazify and demilitarize the next country? After all, after all, after Ukraine, Poland is on the map. I will not hide that I personally have such an intention, Kadyrov said on the Telegram. I personally have such an intention, and I will repeat it. I have repeatedly stated the fight against Satanism should continue throughout Europe and, first of all, on the territory of Poland. So, this is Putin's ally, and he's saying the next move should be to hit up Poland. And they keep talking about denazifying and anti-Satanism. And it's Satan casting out Satan. Give me a break. But it is what it is. I mean, we seen what happened when the Nigerian students was trying to leave and going to Poland, and they were telling the white ones they can come, but the niggas, Nigerian niggas, get back over there. They wouldn't let them cross. Y'all seen all of that, all the issues that they was having trying to get on the trains, and they was getting called racial slurs and everything else from Poland to Ukraine when they was trying to get up out of there over a year ago, or less than a year, close to a year ago. When the evacuation was going down, man, the black people over there, man, they was treating them like crap. The students that was over there going to school. So do we can agree that there's definitely white supremacist Nazi mentalities going on over there in Poland and in Ukraine. And these damn goofy Negroes and white folks over here talking about standing with Ukraine. Hell no. Not standing with Ukraine, man. They don't give a damn about black people over there. Look at it. Kim Jong-un abruptly reappears after 36 days out of the spotlight and orders North Korea to, quote, prepare for war. And then after that, he's parading around all his nukes. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un abruptly reappeared after 36 days out of the spotlight as he ordered his country to prepare for war, according to multiple reports. Kim was photographed presiding over a meeting of the Central Military Commission of the ruling Workers' Party on Monday, Reuters reported. His presence marked the first time he was back in the public eye after more than a month for reasons that have not been made public. His disappearance raised questions about his health from multiple news outlets. Kim Jong-un's longest ever break from the spotlight was in 2014 when he was not seen for 40 days. So, every time he disappears, they immediately say he must be ill. He must be about to die. Maybe he's sitting back really strategizing and figuring out his next move. Maybe he just doesn't want to be in the public spotlight. He wants to sit down and chill for a month and some change. But they quick to, they try to bury him. As soon as he pops up, he's like, oh, I'm still alive and well. And telling North Korea, get ready for war. That doesn't mean it's about to happen tomorrow or this summer. Who knows? But clearly, in his 36 days of meditation and counsel or whatever the hell was coming out in his chambers, the conclusion for him was where the direction of the world is going is war. And he's telling the North Koreans, get ready for war. Pentagon looks to restart top secret programs in Ukraine. For those that's talking about, ain't no Americans in Ukraine, that's not happening. For the goofy Edomites that's running around, they talking about, supporting slow Biden. They're looking to restart top secret programs in Ukraine. Hello? The Pentagon is urging Congress to resume funding a pair of top secret programs in Ukraine suspended ahead of Russia's invasion last year. According to current and former U.S. officials, if approved, the move would allow American special operation troops to employ Ukrainian operatives to observe Russian military movements and counter disinformation. A determination is unlikely before the fall. Defense officials are preparing a proposal for lawmakers consideration in the coming months when work begins on the next year's Pentagon policy and funding bill. If successful, these programs could resume as soon as 2024, though it remains unclear if the Biden administration would allow U.S. commandos back into Ukraine. What? It remains unclear if the Biden administration would allow U.S. commandos back into Ukraine to oversee them, or if the military would seek to do that from a neighboring country. Oh, so that means they was already there? You talking about, oh, you're going to let them back in? Or it may take till 2024. I think not. They've already been over there. We covered the articles last week. Would your neighborhood be targeted in a nuclear conflict? Official map shows the 2,000 locations across the U.S. at most risk. So let's share this map. I'm gonna share this map with y'all. Heavily populated cities such as New York and LA will be primary targets, but more rural areas also are at risk. Idaho, Maine, parts of Northern California, and Oregon are, quote, safe zones, according to a hotspot map. Let's look at what they're saying here. This is, oh, shoot, I thought I had the map. My bad, y'all. But the map was kind of, it had a bunch of dots all over the country. This is another thing. I'm gonna reshare this with y'all again. But I mean, pretty much, it was like, uh, let me see if I can find it. Forget neighborhood thing. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, this was the map right here. So, these are all the particular areas. You see all up and down the East Coast, the tri-state area, heavily populated areas. This is from 2015, right? So you can see here, California, Southern California, Northern California, part of the Midwest, down south in Texas, Florida, heavily populated areas, man, that they expect, you know, big things to go down. Uh, the black dots are, it says targeted in a 2,000 warhead scenario. So nuclear warheads, see, target in a 2,000 warhead scenario. Target in a 500 warhead scenario is a triangle. What is this thing here? Why is this thing in the way? I can't get this thing up off of here, but it's okay. But you can see pretty much all of America is in danger of getting hit. Unless you're looking at maybe little areas like over here. This is Nevada, I believe. Uh, you know, Utah. No, I think this Utah right here. They can get hit. This is that's Nevada. This is Arizona, you know. But unless you like up really, there ain't too many spots, man. You're not gonna get maybe Nebraska. You might not get hit too bad over here. But anywhere, Midwest, East Coast, down south, all the western coastal cities, that's a wrap. You understand? So this is what they're showing according to that map. Now let's look back over here. When just looking at the devastation, hold on. Brother Sel not sharing? It's not sharing? Oh my goodness. Shalaki, y'all. Shalaki, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how far. Shalaki, y'all. I didn't realize I wasn't sharing. Hey, the water for hit me, Bayan. My bad, y'all. I don't know how much did y'all miss, man? It looked like it's been since I was on. Good lord. My bad, y'all. Shalaki, man. Let me double back. I'm gonna just y'all at least read. See where I was reading. So here's the first one. My bad, y'all. Damn, I done went 40 minutes. Wasn't even sharing with y'all. Forgive me. All right, here we go. I thought I had it on. It was only sharing a tab. It wasn't sharing my whole screen. That's why I wasn't switching up, man. My bad. So here's the first article. Russia's amassing all these tanks, right? Um, and for their invasion. This is the next article about the massive attack that went down after all of these troops was amassed. Is the next one about Putin's ally, one of his little rich allies that's been exiled to Britain, said that there's no stopping them. Only way you can do it is World War III is gonna have to get cracking, and the NATO countries are gonna have to fight for real. Not this proxy stuff that's going on right now. He said they're gonna have to really get engaged. Here's North Korea showing off the largest ever number of nuclear missiles at a parade, nighttime parade. Here's the next one. The Kremlin says those behind Nord Stream blasts must be punished. So, we're seeing here that the devastation is going to happen because of the terrorist act that America committed. Kremlin, Russia saying, hey, payments got to, America's got to pay for this. How are they going to do it? Are they going to bomb America? Are they going to enact terrorism against America? We don't know. But Pulitzer Prize winning journalist Seymour Hersh, well-respected journalist, honored by his colleagues as being the real deal. He comes out with a full investigative report that says, hey, according to his sources, facts, and information, the U.S. was behind that bombing. I played the video, Slow Biden saying it. Apparently, y'all missed that one. I think y'all heard it, but just in case you didn't.
That means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
So,
how will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will. I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
So he's not even making no apologies for it, man. He just outright just said, I promise you we'll do it. Don't worry about it, honey. However I do it, don't even ask. Because I can't tell you right now because it's actually terrorism. But, we're going to do it. So Kremlin says, hey, whoever did it needs to be punished. The first one that came out of his mouth that even said that they was going to do something was Slow Biden, Victoria Nuland. They all said that they was going to do something to that pipeline. It ends up happening. This award-winning journalist comes out, does all this research, lays out a whole 100+ page report, investigative information, facts, so forth and so on, and says, hey, all roads lead back to Slow Biden in America. Now that Russia's got this information, are they going to act on it and say that this was an act of terrorism? They have every right to. Pentagon tested mass surveillance balloons. Again, this article is 3 years old. This is the norm for all top intelligence officials and so forth and so on. They're all spying. That's why the Chinese are tripping. Like, why you shoot us down? We know how we get down. We all doing this. Slow Biden says it himself. All countries gather intelligence. They all been doing it. I think y'all seen the scripture I brought out in Sirach 23 about the eyes being 10 times brighter than the sun. The vanity of the so-called white man constantly trying to spy on and get involved in everybody else's business. This is the article about the recent article they just shot down with the F-22 near Alaska. Car shape or car size, they don't know who it belongs to, but they shot it down. So the paranoia of America right now is on high levels. The UN chief, he says the world's headed for a wider war. Russia's saying there's going to be consequences for the entire world of them jets. If UK responds and gives Zelensky and the Ukrainians these jets that he's begging for, Russia says there's going to be consequences for the world if it goes down. And in the article, they said that they're already training Ukrainian pilots for these jets. So it doesn't sound like the UK is even budging on the threat. They're saying, well, guess what? We're training them up. It's just going to take some time. Once they're ready, we're giving them the jets. So they give them the jets. Russia says it's going to be hell to pay. This was another article about him sending more threats to the West as more tanks, jets are being allowed to be infiltrated into Ukraine to help. So Russia's saying they're going to respond. Here's the article I just got to reading about one of Putin's allies saying that Poland should be next. Poland should be next. Now here's the article about Kim Jong Un. He pops out of his closet after 36 days, and he came to the conclusion that North Korea needs to get prepared for war. So whatever he was doing within his council in them 36 days, he came out and said, all roads are leading towards war. I got to tell my country, we got to get ready. The Pentagon's looking to restart up these top secret programs in Ukraine. We just got to talking about that. Now here's where we're at right now. Would your neighborhood be targeted in a nuclear conflict? Official map shows the 2,000 locations across the U.S. that's at most risk. So I was sharing this map. It's showing all of the particular areas. You know what? I think I need to just go ahead and open this up on my phone too, so I can make sure I'm sharing. Because I'm tripping. I am tripping. Let me make sure it's sharing. Hold on. Okay, it's sharing. All right, all praises. Here we go. So here we're seeing this the map of all the targeted areas. You see down here, it's a little grid where it defines. It says the black dots are a target in a 2,000 warhead scenario. The triangles are targeted in a 500 warhead scenario. The red stars as if it's a state capital. And there's another one. I don't know why this little thing right here is in the way, but I can't move it. But nonetheless, 2,000 warhead scenario could get hit all up in here. I think that's up near like Detroit, Minnesota, and them areas. No place in America really is safe, right? Maybe Idaho. This is boys, yeah. Idaho look like it's okay. They ain't you can't get hit too much in Idaho. Watch how many Negroes move to Idaho now. Think you're running? No, you ain't gonna run, man. Most I already said, man. The Great Horror is gonna be a heaping of smoke. This place is pretty much a wrap. California, you can forget about it. You know, you get up here in Washington and going up towards Alaska and all that, forget about it. The Eastern Seaboard, tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Connecticut, you know, all them, Washington, D.C., Virginia, that's a wrap. You know, Midwest, there's not an area in America that couldn't really get hit or targeted, right? That's what they're alluding to. The destruction of a particular nuke. You know, this is what I shared this before, but here's one thing that they showed in the event of a nuke that hits America. The effect of a nuclear blast centered on New York's financial district are illustrated, wiping out the entire southern tip of Manhattan and causing severe damage and burns spanning much of Brooklyn and New Jersey. So, One World Trade Center, if the bomb was to hit, you see here the color coded devastation that will happen, right? East Orange, this is all the way into New Jersey. Chicago, this is New Jersey. The bomb hits in New York. It's going to affect the next state over. Estimated fatalities if a nuke was to hit in central New York, where the Empire State Building is and all of that. 710,360 will die. Estimated injuries, 1.1 million will be injured. That's from one bomb. Fireball, everything is vaporized in this particular area right here. Everything is gone, right? Heavy blast damage and fatalities near 100% will extend out in this red area. Then everybody's dying in the yellow. and in the red. In the green, radiation likely being fatal. That means that even though they wasn't near the direct blast, the radiation that spreads will likely be fatal. It can kill somebody within days or within a matter of a week to 2 weeks, depending on exposure. In the blue, now we're already into New Jersey. Medium blast damage, most buildings will still collapse. Thermal radiation, third-degree burns going all the way out here. Now we're talking about getting into all the other boroughs. You're not even where the direct blast is, but just the radiation and the burns that come from this bomb is going to get hit. Then on the outskirts, light blast damage, buildings are going to be shattered. Like, windows and buildings are going to be shattered. That's just from one bomb, man. And anything around here, the nuclear fallout will be affected, man. It'll be a wasteland. Harlem, all this, they ain't directly gonna get hit or get caught up, but their neighboring resources of these particular cities and areas, it'll be a wasteland. There's nothing you can do over there. That's what America's got coming. That's what a lot of the world has got coming. When this world war hits off. Let's continue. Have y'all seen this? There's been a number, a few different assaults has happened. Uh, um, a councilwoman in New Jersey, she got put to death, shot in her car. Another one in New Jersey, he got killed. What happened to him? Can't remember if he got killed or he got assaulted. But we're seeing here, even according to the scriptures, we've read this in Second Ezra a number of times about a lack of respect for authority. Second Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So as we're leading in towards what? The end times, we're seeing betraying and sedition happening, not regarding kings, princes. This is the third one that's happened within, I want to say at least a week. Representative Angie Craig assaulted in D.C. apartment building. The assault, which occurred in the building's elevator around 7:15 a.m., left her bruised, according to the state. From a COE, the lawmaker called 911 and the assailant fled. Where's the story at, man, where the sister got killed? I didn't put that in here. Look at this. A dreadful coincidence. A second New Jersey council member is shot dead in the car, but officials don't think they're linked. What's going on over there in New Jersey? For the second time in about a week, a New Jersey council member was found shot to death in a car. These sound like hits. What kind of corruption is going on over there? What are they involved in that's gotten them killed in the car? Milford Borough Councilman Russell Heller, 51, was in the parking lot of a PSE&G Energy Company facility in Somerset County when a former employee approached his car and shot him. A statement from the Somerset County Prosecutor's Office said the investigation was revealed that the shooting of Mr. Heller was not politically connected with his elected office or political affiliation. Well, what could it have been? Was he sleeping with the dude's wife? I mean, what was going on? There's only certain reasons why a man's gonna kill somebody. If it ain't politically motivated, it's personal. Roman also said Heller's shooting is not connected to the recent killing of another council member in New Jersey. Last week, Councilwoman Eunice Dumafor of Sayreville was also shot and killed. The Middlesex County official said, "It's a dreadful coincidence." You think? Well, the Most High said that the people are not going to be respecting the kings or the princes anymore. Taking out public figures and public political figures is going to become a more common occurrence, it seems, as they're saying, is this just a coincidence? So 2 officials in New Jersey gets put to death. Now, a representative, Republican Angie Craig, she gets hands laid on her in a elevator. So what's going on? Let's see if there's any more that happens in the future. Let's continue. I said it earlier, man, a Monday, no, Tuesday, I checked in about the earthquake. I said, well, the number of deaths now that's attributed to the earthquake is at 20,000. I said, but who knows? When you're dealing with uh, plague and disease and everything else that comes on after those who survive, there's still going to be more deaths that get attributed to. And lo and behold, because of the weather, people are over there freezing to death now. So not only did the earthquake kill 20 plus thousand, that's 20 plus thousand. And we talked about earlier, seeing the judgment of the Most High. Now, more are even going to be dying because of freezing to death. That's how the Most High works and operates, right? And that ain't Israel over there, man. So put the tissue boxes away. Put the tissue boxes away. Let's continue. Oh, look at this. The Transformers is on the move. Well, what Optimus Prime say? Transformers roll out. Look, the Trans Lives Matter protests occupy Oklahoma Capitol building to fight GOP bills that bans gender confirming surgery under 21. So the transformer community, they storm what they said, oh, they did everything lawful and legally. It was peaceful. Isn't that how January 6th was supposed to start it? Until they had some agitators and some extras go on. I mean, you would think that January 6th should have already enacted no more protests on state capitals, this, that, and the third. But Esau sits back and lets the Transformers do what they want to do. They're allowed to go ahead and storm the capital of Oklahoma to fight a bill that says no gender confirming surgery should happen to any person under 21. And what do? They allow it to go down. Let them go in and storm the Capitol building because they want kids to be able to have gender bending surgeries under 21. The 150 protesters were from groups including Oklahomans for Equality in Freedom, Oklahoma. They are fighting against new bills being championed by Governor Kevin Stitt that restrict trans surgery and care. It's unclear how many lawmakers were inside or how the group gained entry to the Capitol yesterday. So they can go and storm capitals and no problems, because trans lives matter. But when the rest of the heathen and Edomites ran over there because they was not in agreement with the election, all hell breaks loose, and they still prosecuting and locking their butts up. You see the difference? Look at trans lives matter. Now, you see how they ride on the coattails of the plight of our people, man. You take Black Lives Matter, oh, and they take that. No, all lives matter. White lives matter. Trans lives matter. Nothing can be exclusive to our people. We can't have nothing. Every time you say Black Lives Matter, oh no, not just you niggas matter. We matter too. We can't just be exclusive and concentrate on the plight that's happening to your people. No, we can't make it exclusive. We need to be included. Can't nothing just be about us. Now they done hijack that because now BLM, that's already, we know that was bogus from the beginning, but damn. Now that that's faded out, there's no more funding happening to that. That's kind of done died out. Because if you notice, there was no Black Lives protest. None of that was going on down there with Tyree Nichols in Memphis. That thing has pretty much been defunded and shut down. And guess who creeps up out of their shells and come eating the leftovers like roaches? Here comes the trans. Oh, now it's trans lives matter. You forget about the black BL, but forget about the black lives. That's out of here now. The new thing is, oh, trans lives matter. See how that works? Hey, well, you can thank the founders because it was already set up to be an operation to help the LGBTQ plus HIV community and the trans community. Now it's just flipped over to this now. So now you niggas just forgot about Black lives who? What? Hey, Kanye even said white lives matter. All lives matter. So yeah, forget about the hardship and the atrocities that's happening to you. It's already been hijacked. Trans Lives Matter protests descended on Oklahoma State Capitol building yesterday, occupying the interior rotunda to protest against new bills that would ban gender-affirming surgery for young people. And the fact that they out here trying to protest that somebody who's not of quote-unquote legal age, 21 in most, not in every state, but in many states, 21 is a legal age. You can't gamble, you can't drink, you can't do a whole lot of things. Some states you can't even get licenses unless you're 21. Now they're saying, oh, age shouldn't matter. A 15-year-old should be able to get a gender transforming surgery. 14, 13, 12, hell. Why not? 18, yeah, chop off your breast, man, cut your rod off. It's all good. And they can't even vote or go to war. What are you talking about? But they storming capitals to get in there. The protesters from Oklahomans for equality and freedom, Oklahoma, like they're being oppressed, like they've experienced lynching, hanging, burnings, churches getting set ablaze. Like they've experienced the things that have hit our people. Like they want freedom. What? Who's oppressing them? Or because you can't go in there and do a surgery to change your gender? That's oppression. Anyway, organize. Hold on, what's wrong with my damn screen? Organizers told Daily Mail that all protesters entered the building peacefully, going through the necessary security checks before staging their demonstration inside. Oh, so America was never on. Never did they consider, hey, maybe we shouldn't have any more of these protests on government property anymore. Maybe we should shut that down. The last one was pretty bad. No. Oh, they said, oh, it's the trans people. No, let them in. That's fine. It's all good. We don't need to shut them down. You understand? More evidence of this place being spiritual Sodom. But I digress. This is why it's going to be even harder for me to do in DSTM with full integrity, because we don't know what's going on now. You got deep fake technology. You got Chat GPT that's doing what do you call it? They're writing articles now. They're taking the bar exams. They're taking medical tests. AI is hijacking the informational highways. Remember, we covered the article that said 90% of content that's going to be on the internet is going to be ran by AI. Look at this. The people on screen are fake. The disinformation is real. This is computer generated, deep fake. In one video, a news anchor with perfectly combed hair and a stubbly beard outlined what he saw as the United States' shameful lack of action against gun violence. In another video, a female news anchor heralded China's role in geopolitical relations at an international summit meeting. But something was off. Their voices were stilted and failed to sync in the movement of their mouths. Their faces had a pixelated video game quality, and their hair appeared unnaturally plastered to the head. The captions were filled with grammatical mistakes. The two broadcasters, purportedly anchors for a news outlet called Wolf News, are not real people. There are computer-generated avatars created by artificial intelligence software, and late last year, videos of them were distributed by pro-China bots accounts on Facebook and Twitter in the first known instance of a deep fake video technology being used to create fictitious people as part of a state-aligned information campaign. AI is here. Skynet is taking over. You don't know who's real, what's real on the damn screens no more. The videos are fake, pictures are fake, bots is taking over, bots are leaving comments, fake accounts, fake YouTube channel. I mean, the whole nine. This is why they know that the information is coming out. Matter of fact, we just brought out the scripture earlier in in where was we in Daniel? Knowledge shall be increased to and fro. I think it was in Daniel. Why am I drawing a blank on that one? It's going to come to me. Somebody put it in the. There we go. Yeah, it was Daniel. I'm tripping. Daniel 12:4, it says, "But thou, O Daniel, set up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So the fact that knowledge is increasing, people are waking up, people are investigating, people aren't taking the role of just being sheeple and being dictated to reality. No, we're out looking, we're out searching, we're out finding ourselves, we're learning to read the book according to thus saith the Lord, and according to law, statute, and commandment, and right prophecy, as opposed to through religious lenses. No, we're not doing that no more. We left the denominational dogma and the brainwashing. We're finding out real truth right now because of this, and people are being, especially the Israelites, were being awakened. We're sounding or sounding the trumpets, blowing the alarms, waking our people up. Esau has to counter that with disinformation, and now the same outlets that's being used as one of the major means of waking our people up, the internet. Now they're going to weaponize the internet against us by putting out fake news, fake videos, fake stories, fake history, fake archaeology. We don't know everything that they're going to be compromising. Just look up, if you haven't already, look up on YouTube deep fake videos. You're going to see all kind of crazy stuff. I don't have time to do it. I'll show y'all some examples. But y'all know, they already got the Mockingbird media. They all repeating the same stories, the same headlines, the same catchphrases. They're already doing that. Now all they got to do is multiply that by 10. We're creating new news outlets, new news, articles and uh, uh, alternative news. That they're gonna say, "Oh, you like alternative news, do you? Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna come up with all these new websites." You just seen last week. Um, I showed you the article where they said TikTok can make anybody go viral with the push of a button. So you know that they're gonna make all of this fake news and disinformation and deep fake videos. They can go viral just like that, and everybody's gonna catch on and think that it's the truth. And you don't know what's real and what isn't, man. If you see my face on the body of a woman and all that saying I denounce the truth and I'm a woman, hey, you better run for cover. Cause that you know in that ain't me. All right. You see me out doing anything that looking crazy. Listen, who knows what this damn devil's up to? But it's out there. It is out there. So it's gonna make my job even more difficult, our job more difficult as we out here looking for the truth. But we know The truth is only going to be found, number one, in the book of the Lord. That's our root. To find supporting things that help substantiate this, they're going to try to make it even harder. So our ultimate goal is Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read, no one shall want to mate. You can't go wrong if you're sticking with this, right? He's going to try to make it difficult to have information and things come out that help support this. But as long as we got this foundation, we'll be good. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want to make. For my mouth that I commanded, and the spirit it had gathered them. So the prophecies, the judgments that the Most High puts out there, said his mouth commanded them, his spirit gathered them. Nothing is going to fail us in this book. No other book is going to want to or could be mated with this book. Not the Egyptian book of the dead, not the Dead Seas. I mean the Egyptian Book of the Dead, not the Taoist and Buddhist document, books that you can read. You ain't gonna read it in none of these other dang books. The Quran, no. The book of the Lord should be sought out. It's never gonna fail us. This is gonna fail us. But let's continue. Microsoft founder Bill Gates says Chat GPT will change the world. That's their objective. They want to change the world. They want to change how information is gathered. Anything. I want to see if I can find that. Hold on. I think it said 90%. I want to make sure I'm right. Yeah, that was it. Let's look at this. Experts predict explosion of deep fakes used in TV and film, with 90% of online entertainment content being AI generated by 2025. Yeah, so that means, from the righteous to the wicked, all the men and the females that's capitalizing and monetizing they Instagrams by showing their bodies and scamming and all that other stuff. Oh, that's out of there. These cats gonna be paying to look at AI generated images. Now they're gonna be real people. They're gonna look real, but it's all gonna be fake. 90% of what we see online is going to be fake by 2025. Experts predict explosion of deepfakes used in TV and film, with 90% of online entertainment content being AI generated by 2025, as critics and viewers pan ITV comedy that replicates Greta Thunberg, Stormzy, and Harry Kane. So that's just to show you, man. And what Bill Gates comes out of his hellhole to say that Chat GPT will change our world. Well, Chat GPT is the AI bot that writes, talks, not necessarily talk, but it's mostly writing and all that other stuff. Doing articles. Uh, they got an article out now about the first AI lawyer is getting ready to represent a Jake. They already got AI bots performing surgeries and diagnosing you at the hospital. You know, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates believes ChatGPT, a chatbot that gives strikingly human-like responses to user queries, is significant as the invention of the internet. He told German business daily Handelsblatt in an interview published on Friday. Until now, artificial intelligence could read and write, but could not understand the content. The new programs like ChatGPT will make many office jobs more efficient by helping to write invoices or letters. This will change our world, he said in comments published in German. So they're expecting AI to read, write, respond, talk to you in the whole nine. This is where they're at. They expended billions of dollars into this. This is the future. This is what they want. College degrees are losing more career clout. So as much as they're trying to tell our people, go out there, get your degree, you need this paper to get this job. Meanwhile, you're collecting yourselves and thousands and tens of $1,000s in debt. Now they're saying, guess what? Your degree probably doesn't mean too much anymore. I've been saying that for years, but now they finally come out and say it. Look at it. It says, it's like companies are increasingly dropping 4-year college degree requirements for their jobs and putting more emphasis on experience. And that's not just entry level jobs. A third of those who dropped degree requirements did so for senior level roles, a recent survey found. The survey of HR managers by Intelligent.com found 53% of hiring managers said their company eliminated the requirement for a bachelor's degree for some roles in the past year. For so many jobs, it's an arbitrary requirement, and it does eliminate people needlessly who could be great employees. Oh, so now they're realizing. And a lot of times it ain't who you know. I mean, it's not what you got, it's who you know. Many of people get in because of somebody hooked them up, because somebody working somewhere else is networking. Paperwork, man, they finally coming out saying, oh, college is a scam. You actually, getting all this dang debt to try to get into a workforce that may not necessarily help you. I'm not saying that's the case for everybody. Some people get into particular fields of study that does require and need these degrees and learning. But for many, not so much. Trade helps our people much more. And you can value a trade more than getting a degree in psychology. And you come out and you're trying to expect to get a job to be a psychologist, or go sit down and go hopefully get recruited to go brainwash kids some more about how they need to be put on psychotropic drugs because they, are depressed. No, we don't need no more of that. You know what? Let me see something. All right, we continue on. Hey, for my people out there in the D, man, hey, relief is coming. Relief is coming. Look at that, a whole $180 per household. I mean, that might get you maybe about a half a cart of groceries and a quarter tank of gas for the week. Look at how generous their oppressor is. What it will take. Look, it's qualified. I mean, everybody not getting it. My people out there in the deep, man, Bayon and the fam out there, hey, y'all might qualify, man. They breaking the bank. What it will take for Michigan residents to get $180 inflation relief check and other tax breaks. This is for the cover up for people to say, all white people ain't bad. The government ain't bad. Look what they did. They gave $180 to qualified recipients for inflation relief, inflation that they caused. $180, huh? I mean, y'all ready to ball out there in Michigan. I can see that already. Esau, man, this is like a slap in the face, man. You might as well keep the $180, man. You get your tax. That's per household. That's not per adult. If you're a married couple, you filed taxes together, that $180 is for y'all to split, man. What's that, $90 a piece? Esau, man, give me a break. People freezing, starving, can barely pay their damn gas bills, and they saying, oh, well, here's $180, it might help you. Ford CEO hints at imminent layoff. Sites need to be efficient. So, CEO of Ford is saying layoffs is coming, but Slow Biden was just over there at the State of the Union talking about how great the economy was and how much he's opening up jobs and talking about how great things are going to be in the future, and we got to finish the job. You finish the job, but what he's doing, man, this place is finished. That's finishing the job. What is he talking about? So imminent layoffs there at Ford. Here, more on the economy. We see what's happening. Zoom CEO will take a $10,000 salary this year, a 98% pay cut after laying off 1,300 workers because of mistakes he made growing the company. Oh, because of his mistakes, he got to lay off 1,300 people, but he's not donating That other 98% of his salary to them people, is he? No. The little Moabite man said, I'll just take 10 racks this year. I got to lay off 1,300 of y'all. So more layoffs, you see here, Zoom, because of mistakes made. Yeah, because guess what? Times was rolling when the pandemic was in effect and everything was going towards Zoom for school, business. Everybody's using Zoom and online apps for meetings and everything else. Zoom was booming, making money hand over fist, man. Subscriptions galore. Everybody had to use Zoom. So when the money was rolling, he didn't make precautions to say, well, when this is over with, what are we going to do? Subscriptions start getting canceled. You start losing money. Guess what? He said, ooh, we made mistakes. We didn't handle the growth right. You fumbled the bag, as they say. And guess who had to pay? 1,300 of his workers. And his way of repenting is saying, oh, well, let me go ahead on and just take a $10,000 salary this year. What happened to the other 98%, man? You going to get out to the people? No. He said you're going to give them a 4-month severance package and medical and give them some counsel on how to make their next move career-wise. Whatever. Look at it. Yahoo to lay off more than 20% of the staff as it shrinks its business. Slow Biden said everything's great, though. Yahoo laying off, Zoom laying off, Ford laying off, Amazon laying off. Layoffs galore. But if y'all remember, back in the summer, I showed y'all and told y'all, they said that 50% of corporations will be laying off within the next 6 to 9 months, and there it is. As the economy is still spiraling out of control. The Fed just came out and they raised the interest rates another 0.25%. As they talk about, it's cooling down, inflation's getting under control. It's still at over 6-point-something percent. It's supposed to be at under 2 or 2 point something. So they said we got a lot more work to do. There's going to be more inflation, more layoffs. The inflation interest rates is going to continue on until we get this thing down under. They ain't going to stop, man, until everybody's freaking starving. I know everybody's power bills. We've been talking about that every week. Talking about your energy bills is going up. Gas bills is crazy. My gas bill was more than it's ever been. And it used to be one of my cheapest bills. My gas bill was down at $200. And I know all of y'all got the same story. U.S. is, quote, likely. Not the U.S. The U.K. is likely to need a digital currency, says the Bank of England and Treasury. So, we talked about how the transition of, quote unquote, building back better, the Great Reset, is going to be a financial transition as well. Going digital, cashless society. All those things is all part of the beast system. It's all to get people incorporated onto this new track of living. Let me share this with y'all real quick before I close out. Here is the digital ID. This is all part of the beast system. This is all part of how you're going to go along to get along. Okay? Digital ID. And you don't need no potato chip in your right hand or in your forehead to have any of this take place. They already got people incorporated in following along. It's all going to be tech based. It's already incorporated on phones, apps, and everything else. So this is how they're instituting this. So pay attention. Your health care. It said for users to access insurance, treatment, to monitor health devices, wearables for care, providers to demonstrate their qualifications. It said these things are going to be wearable on maybe on your watch, maybe on your phone, and your tablet, whatever. Bill Gates already talked about some of this stuff and the rewards and how it's going to happen. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but it's a whole lot that goes on with this whole system. So your healthcare is going to be all linked in with your digital ID. Financial services, to open a bank account, carry out online financial transactions, you're going to need a digital ID to do it. Food and sustainability, for farmers and consumers to verify provenance of produce, to enhance value and traceability in supply chains. So to get your food, sustainability, to farm, to get your nutrients, is going to be regulated. Are you being environmentally safe? No, you can't have meat this month because of the shortages or because of your health circumstances. Because your healthcare says, "Oh, you've got diabetes or you got high blood pressure. Oh, you're obese. We can't give you meat. No, you can't eat that. Your digital ID restricts you from having this. You're only qualified to buy these vegetables, this GMO crop. You can only get these bugs. You can get these mealworms. You understand that? That's what this is all going to lead to. But let's continue. Travel and mobility, to book trips, to go through border control between countries and regions. And this is from the World Economic Forum. This is from the same guy who talked about um, you'll own nothing and be happy and all that. Klaus Schwab, that guy. This is from their website. So go on there and check it out. Go look it up yourself. Travel and mobility. Well, didn't they experiment with that already? With a digital passport that said whether or not you follow the protocols to enter this particular country? Didn't you have to have that ID? They say, yeah, they're safe. They follow protocol. They're okay. Come on over. Oh no, you didn't. You can't travel here. You can't come into this country. They already experimented with that. Humanitarian response, to access services, to demonstrate qualifications to work in a foreign country. Oh, you got to have your ID. E-commerce, to shop, to conduct business transactions and secure payments. Also, I know the argument sometimes for those that, talk about the potato chip. Well, I can always go online and go. No, you can't. Not unless you've downloaded and you've complied with protocol. Even that will shut you down. Your card won't work unless it's gone through this particular system. Social platforms, for social interactions, to access third-party services, to rely on social media logins. You're going to have a digital ID to log on to your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your whatever else are people up. TikTok. Oh, if you're not incorporated in the B system and you got your digital ID, you cannot access it. E-government, for citizens to access and use these services, file taxes, vote, collect benefits. You need ID. Telecommunications, for use of their own and use devices, for service providers to monitor devices. Oh, devices. Hello. For users to own and use devices, for service providers to monitor devices and data on the network. Wi-Fi, all of that. You see that? Okay. Smart cities, to monitor devices and sensors transmitting data such as energy uses, air quality, traffic congestion. Smart cities. Oh, don't some people have smart meters already in their house regulating their temperatures? Smart cars, smart watch, all the smart stuff is all going to be incorporated all throughout cities, and you will not be able to access, drive, do any of this stuff unless you can do 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 do. Oh, you got access. Okay, yeah, you're okay. Scan your QR code. Let's make sure that you're okay. You follow? This is why Bill Gates and them are talking about Chat GPT is going to change the world. Oh, AI is going to be running this, that, and the third. Digital currencies likely going to be needed at the Bank of England. Canada's already putting this into effect. China's already got their social credit score system lined up. It's already in motion. They're just going to have to implement and do something to crash an economy, to create a hysteria, i.e., World War III, such and such, in order to lock everybody in. Look, what did they do to the Japanese when all hell broke loose and Hiroshima and Nagasaki went down and they bombed them? They threw them all in internment camps because they couldn't determine whether or not they were friend or foe. And they said, look, if you Japanese, we don't give a damn. You're getting put in these camps. And until we can figure out what's what, you're going to be re-educated. You're going to have to pledge your allegiance to America or go back to Japan. And most of them say, okay, we're all Americans. We forgot about everything. You bombed the hell out of us. We're all good. We'll give you some reparations, and when you calm down, we will let you out. Same similar stuff is going to go down in the near future. They got to create a hysteria to isolate. Well, who's with it, who's not? You ain't with it? Oh, well, you're going to deal with this. If you're with it, you're going to go through these steps to show that you're part of us. You follow? That's how this thing's working. So digital currencies, that's why the crypto boom and bust, and everybody's getting used to doing that. We're already pretty much getting weaned off of cash. Hardly anybody carrying cash anymore. Everything is, on the card or on the credit card. And notice every card has a chip on it already. This is why they are instituting that. It's just all mental. They're getting everybody conditioned. Look at this. I talked about it. I'm just gonna briefly read it. So, Slow Biden, I mentioned it on Tuesday. He was gonna go around and parade and talk about all his invited guests. He's gonna have Jake there because he's going to pander to the race during Black History Month. As he was acknowledging who was there, oh, the family of Tyree Nichols is here, and police brutality is something that's terrible, and playing on the emotions of the Negroes. The guest at Biden's State of the Union, hero who called 911 when a Republican fell off a ladder. That quote unquote hero was a so-called black man. White man fell off the ladder, broke his neck, got all jacked up. Jake called 911, helped save his life. They brought him in. Former prisoners, a woman who traveled across state lines to get an abortion. So a woman that, is upholding, breaking the laws of the Most High, gets celebrated. Michael Brown's father, Michael Brown had died over there in St. Louis. He pulled him out. Tyree Nichols, family pulls out. And the old goofball man, he had a he had everybody else he's saying their names. He gets to some Ukrainian ambassador as he's talking about the war and all of that. He couldn't pronounce her name. And he said, we had a Ukrainian ambassador. Ambassador, yeah, come on, stand up. Her name was hard to pronounce, so I know he didn't want to fumble that. She was the one person he did not say her name. He just called her ambassador. Where are you? Stand up. I said, up there you go. He was about to fumble for real. He said, I ain't gonna try to say her name. He just said, ambassador, stand up. Where are you? So this was him race baiting, trying to celebrate and get some Jake on there. He had a sister on there that was part of the some train union or something like that, and he was talking about how they was over there in Ohio. I think she was in. She can't wait to climb up and build a new bridge, 100 and some odd feet in the air, and all this other foolishness, acting like he's really with trying to rebuild America from the ground up. And he did come out and say that we're going to need gas and oil for another 10 years. So him steamrolling, trying to go into the EV wave with the electric vehicles and moving on uh reduction of power, he already acknowledged it ain't going as smooth as we thought. So, oil and gas is still going to be around for a while. He came out and said it himself. And when he said that, man, the Republicans started laughing at him. They was all laughing in the damn thing. He's like, oh, no, I'm serious. We're going to need power. This dude's a straight goofball, man. But look, these same people, man, wanted him in there. Now look, bar staff beware. Biden's IRS proposes a crackdown on tips by making servers report cash they take home. And you said that this is a democracy, this is a capitalism. When Slow Biden is saying he wants tips reported. IRS proposes a crackdown. Biden's IRS crackdown on tips. Now you see why he got 87,000 IRS employees on the march. He's coming after anybody. He coming after the PPP, EDD scammers. He coming after them. He's coming. He wants the $600 transactions if you're making money on PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. He wants that. Now, if you're working hard as a damn waiter or a bartender and you getting tips, he wants that. Proposal would be voluntary program between IRS and employers that the IRS says would, quote, decrease taxpayer and IRS administrative burdens according to the IRS. They saying it's voluntarily between the employer. So they're going to lean on these employers at Dave and Buster's and Buffalo Wild Wings and your favorite bar. And they're going to say, listen, if you get your employees to report their cash tips, there'll be something in it for you. We can make it a little bit easier on you when you file your taxes as a business owner. And then they're going to start making that a requirement. When you come to work, I need to know I need you to report how much money you made on tips and cash. And you can forget about the sisters out there and the women out there doing something strange for some change in the strip clubs. All that, they're going to have to report all that too. Leave it to slow Biden and this particular administration and what they're proposing. So, hey, this is what they wanted. Man, they're going to get all of it, man. Slow Biden he's a damn devil. He wants taxes on your tips now. Look at this abomination, man. Gender neutral God to be considered by the Church of England. Need I say anymore? Need I say anymore? I mean, we can go to 1,000,001 scriptures, man. The Lord is a man of war. Man of war. Hello? What in the hell are they talking about, man? Now they're talking about trying to create a gender neutral God being considered by the Church of England. Church of England is just now even considering about doing same-sex marriages now. This just is sickening enough, man. Y'all know. This is just more of the abominations that's disseminating out of the church, the so-called white man and his indoctrination, man, and the fast forwarding of the LGBTQ plus HIV community. You understand? The move has been criticized by conservatives who have warned that male and female imagery is not interchangeable. However, liberal Christians now have welcomed it, claiming that a theological misreading of God as exclusively male is a driver of much continuing discrimination and sexism against women. The hijack is for real. I mean, look at this foolishness, man. Now they want to make God gender neutral. Forget about every masculine representation of the Most High that we read in the scriptures. Now they want to change that. Teenager is arrested for attending class at his Ontario Catholic high school after he was suspended for challenging transgender ideas. Boy 16 says he's just expressing religious beliefs. So there you go in Canada. St. Joseph's Catholic High School. Here's a Catholic school of all places suspending a student for not agreeing with transgender ideology. And this is from a Catholic school, y'all, who don't stand on no damn moral or civil principles according to the laws of God. They saying, hey, we got to change with the times. It's racist, it's misogynistic, it's discriminatory, to stand on the word of God. I did a DSTM 2 weeks ago where the Pope was even saying being gay isn't against the law. And I read the damn law of the Most High. What is he talking about? This is why the Most High said you cannot have these heathens in control of our book. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Psalms 147, verse 20. They're in control of the schools, telling the kids, don't worry about it. You can be suspended if you speak on the word of the Most High. And it's a damn Catholic school that's supposed to stand on the word of God. But we know they don't. We know they don't. Last article before I get up out of here, man. Levels of toxic mercury in canned tuna are so, quote, unpredictable. Pregnant women should avoid it completely. Reports. Be careful out there with this tuna, y'all. They still are, seeing the effects of the 2020, what was it, 2010? Is it 2009, 2010? That earthquake over there in Japan. And the nuclear reactors that went wild and got contaminated the Pacific Ocean. The fish was coming up with highly toxic mercury and mercury levels for years, and now they're still acknowledging, hey, the tuna has got high levels of toxic mercury. Man, they telling pregnant women don't even eat tuna no more because you don't want to have any toxic um, uh, effects, cancerous effects happen to the baby. Albacore tuna from 5 popular brands, Bumblebee, Starkiss, and Chicken of the Sea are all included in this warning. So for those of us who eat tuna, like tuna, be careful out there. I don't eat it that often. When I do eat it, but I don't eat it that often. But just be careful out there. They're acknowledging the tuna now is highly contains high levels of mercury out there, y'all. So that's dangerous, carcinogenic, cancerous, the whole nine, right? So all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, while y'all side, man. I got to run. It's been a pleasure and an honor serving y'all here at DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. We'll be having our closing out of our we'll be having our Sabbath class be coming up in about a little bit more than an hour, about an hour or so. If y'all ready to ride back to back, jump on in, come support us. We'll be closing out. Other than that, man, prayerfully, man, hopefully everybody has a blessed rest of the weekend and close out of your Shabbat. Outside of that, I'll see y'all on the next go around. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everybody that's tuning in, man. Bayan Shakar, Egypt to Israel, Naamawa, Shaq, Magnificent, Shalom, all praises. Brother Ron, man, Shalom to you. I didn't salute you earlier. Karatazar, everybody's on, man. Hey, Brother Jawan, Shalom to you, all right? Shalom to you, man. All right. So I'm outro, man. Lord willing, see y'all in the near future. Shabbat Shalom.